Hi, everyone. So I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I would like to pull some cards for each of our 7 chakras and really look at our general understanding of how we love based on each of our chakras. And I'm talking about all kinds of relationships. I could be talking about love relationships, I could be talking about family, friendships, and just the way that we receive and give love unconditionally within each of our 7 chakras. So I'm going to start with a daily crystal card for each chakra because it's important to work with gemstones when we're dealing with our energetic field. So we'll see which stones want to come out for each of our 7 chakras. So we'll do that first. So for the crown, we have rhodonite. For the third eye, we have jade. For the throat, we have apatite. I really like that fell there. And then underneath, for the heart chakra, we have hematite. For the solar plexus, we have rhodochrosite. For the sacral, we have fluorite. And then for the root, we have tourmalinated quartz. So let's see here. What stands out to me right away is this throat chakra apatite, because blue apatite is so good for communication. So that's making me feel like you are a good communicator when it comes to love. The other thing that I really like here is the tourmalinated quartz falling in your root chakra, because I do feel that this is a very grounded type of stone and a very grounded type of energy. But I want to add the tarot cards so we can get a whole picture of each of your chakras, and then we'll do a big picture oracle card to get another, to fill in some more details for each of these chakras. So for the tarot, so this one is for the crown, this one is for the third eye. Then we have the devil for the throat chakra underneath. We have the Knight of Swords for the heart, the 9 of Wands for the solar plexus, the 3 of Swords for the sacral, and the 4 of Swords for the root. And then finally, we'll take a big picture oracle for each of the chakras. For the crown, we have the cross. These cards are jumpy. For the third eye, we have the garden. For the throat, we have the fish. Underneath, for the heart, we have the swords. For the solar plexus, we have the scythe. For the sacral, we have the clouds. And then for the root, we have the wine card. So let's start from the top. We're going to start with the crown chakra. So we have the rhodonite, which says find a way to forgive. Then we have the 7 of Swords and the cross. So it feels to me like, as far as your spiritual connections and your higher purpose in love and finding spiritual partners, it feels like there may be a need. There might be someone in your energy. It looks like with this karma card coming in here and the 7 of Swords, it looks to me like you could be avoiding a person in your energy who is probably someone who you have a very difficult and tumultuous relationship with, because this cross card is showing up here. But also with rhodonite, it looks like there's this need to forgive someone. So yes, generally speaking, unfortunately, when we are in very spiritual connections, they can be our most difficult connections. And we might have a tendency to try to avoid those and run away from them, break up with them and say, I never want to talk to you again. But this is very indicative of a spiritual connection that you probably already have with someone that is very hard to deal with. There's a lot of karmic spaghetti, as I like to say, tied up in it. And you could be avoiding them because there's a need to forgive them. So that is what I see as far as your spiritual connections go. That you have someone, you just don't want to deal with them. And I get it. 100%. I get that. For your third eye. So the third eye, having to do with love, deals with our intuition and our clarity when it comes to the things and the people that we love. So we have Jade, which says be the bigger person. We have the Messenger, which is an extra card in this tarot deck. And then we have the Garden, which speaks of our larger communities. So this is really telling me that as far as your intuition and your clarity goes, the messages that you are receiving through your third eye in an intuitive way are very good things to be able to put out into the greater environment. So in other words, things that you have learned about love from an intuitive way, messages that you receive, it really helps you to show the world at large how to be the bigger person in these loving situations. So if we were to go back and use the example of the person that it feels like you're avoiding, someone that it feels like you are perhaps in a lot of turmoil with and you just don't want to deal with them, that's an example of what I'm talking about, that the information that comes in about that person and what you know on an intuitive level can help other people be the bigger person when it comes to these relationships. With the Garden being here, it shows me that you know on an intuitive level that it's not just you going through these karmic relationships over and over and over again, that it's the greater world at large. It's us as a collective who are going through this. And you, on an intuitive level, understand that. And you can help to teach people how to be the bigger person in these situations when these relationships feel like they're going south. So, as far as your communication style goes, as far as love, it looks like you, with this blue apatite here, again, I love that that's there because this is a great stone to work with for communication. This is also saying to get out of your comfort zone. So, and with the Devil coming in here too, it may be that your communication style in love relationships is more of one where you hold back, that you don't say everything you want to say because you might be not comfortable with the reaction you might get from people. Maybe you've never really learned how to really express yourself, express your emotions when it comes to love relationships. But this is also saying with this fish card that you have a lot of things that you want to say. The fish is an abundance of something. So you have a lot of things that you want to communicate usually in your love relationships, but you really hold yourself back because you're not comfortable. That's what your throat chakra is telling me. Now, if we look at your heart chakra is your ability to give and receive love on an unconditional way. So the hematite is saying to ground yourself, and then the Knight of Swords is here with some swords. So as far as your heart goes, it seems like you are very conflicted about giving and receiving love in an unconditional way. You want to take strong, swift action towards loving people, but perhaps with this two swords here, this swords card, that perhaps you've been hurt so many times within your heart space that you hold yourself back from loving and receiving love unconditionally. So there is a message here about grounding that energy, grounding the energy that's in your heart so that you can still be receptive to love when people want to come in and give you love. If a Knight of Swords wants to come in swiftly and give you love, then you want to be able to receive that and recognize it when it does come in. So there is this need, it feels like, to ground your heart energy. With your solar plexus chakra is the level of self-esteem that you have and your personal power when it comes to love. And so the rhodochrosite is here telling you to remember your worth. So I like that the rhodochrosite is here in your solar plexus because it tells me that you do understand your self-worth. You do understand your value when it comes to love. But this Nine of Wands and this Scythe energy coming in here together is reminding me that perhaps even though you understand your self-value, you're starting to get frustrated and exhausted with the fact that maybe other people don't understand your own self-value. Because again, it looks like there's been so much exhaustion and so much hurt when it comes to love. And I did see this Three of Swords coming up here too. So it feels like there's this need to really focus on your own self-worth and maybe even separate yourself from relationships for a while just so you can recover some of those depleted, exhausted energies, pour them back into yourself, because I do see that you have a clear understanding of your self-worth. You are not confused about your value, but you're tired of trying to convince other people to treat you with the respect that you deserve because of your self-value. So then with the sacral chakra, the sacral chakra is about your emotional needs and your desires. And the fluorite is telling me, especially the fluorite and the Three of Swords are telling me the same thing. The fluorite and the Three of Swords are both telling me that you have been so emotionally hurt, and your desires that you wanted from people, you've had so much pain involved with that you're struggling to find the peace in relationships. And with this clouds here, you're even getting confused yourself about what it is you desire and what it is you need. It could be because you've had so many past people play so many mind games with you that you're very confused about how this is even going to work. How am I going to get my needs met? Is this ever going to happen? It's just become so painful. So it looks like your sacral chakra is where you're storing a lot of your pain. So I would like to talk about that, because it does seem like that's maybe what we want to focus on, is clearing out your sacral so that you can release some of the pain. And that's just a really good start. But this is really good. Your root chakra looks to be in good shape. This is your sense of security and your sense of stability when it comes to love. And this tourmalinated quartz is it says get out of your own way. But I feel like because it's showing up in the root position that you have managed, again, it's kind of amplifying and confirming what I said about the solar plexus is you know your self-worth. You are very grounded. This Four of Swords, he is in this position. He's the red king in this deck, but he's in this position to really understand and ground and meditate and bring all of his manifestations in. And with the wine card here, it's very synchronistically telling me that you have a lot to celebrate as far as how stable you are in love relationships and how secure you are in love relationships. And again, I think it has to do with the value of self-respect that you have. And I think that that's really, really important. So looking at all of your 7 chakras, I do think that the sacral is probably what we would want to focus on here. That there's so much pain that you hold, and there's not a lot of peace, and it's a lot of confusion when it comes to your emotions. What do you need emotionally from relationships? What do you desire in relationships? It's a lot of confusion and a lot of pain. So because we have the most disruptive energy showing up in your sacral chakra, I would like to offer you a free Reiki healing for your sacral chakra. If you're interested in that, it's in the description and in the pinned comment. But also in the Raise Your Vibe in 5 book, there's a whole section for the sacral chakra. And here's a good one. It specifically deals with the sacral chakra. And the exercise for the day says, holding a mint leaf in your hand while praying will help to invite in your angels and spirit guides. So if you have mint available, if you're able to hold a mint leaf in your hand, hold mint leaves in your hand and talk to your angels and spirit guides and ask them to help you heal your sacral chakra. And as I always say, you will be amazed at some of the changes you start to experience and how quickly your sacral will start to heal from this pain, and the confusion will start to clear up. But I do like that idea of holding mint leaves. Mint leaves help to bring your angels in. I don't know why, but it is a thing, and you should try it if you're curious. But again, if you're interested in the sacral chakra healing, it's in the description and in the comments. So look for that. It is yours. So please let me know how this was resonant for you, and we will do this again sometime. Thanks, everybody. Bye.